لوجه الله الكريم عز وجل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ليال التمكين أمثال وحكمة من القرآن الكريم. Nights of empowerment, parables and wisdom from the noble Quran. One of the best known parables in the Holy Quran is that of the spider's web. And Allah makes reference to that in Surah Ankabut. مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء كمثل العنكبوت اتخذت بيتا. The example of those who take awliya other than Allah is like that of a spider who takes the web as its home. A contrast is drawn between those who take awliya other than Allah, and awliya, of course, basically literally means friend or ally, but also in this context, in a larger context, it implies caretaker, maintainer, protector, someone that you can rely upon for safety and security, someone that you can depend upon. Therefore, the concept of tawakkul ala Allah, dependence on Allah, is an integral part of our relationship as people of faith with our Creator. Tawakkul, however, does not mean that you just believe and do nothing. It is also an expression of convictional reliance upon the divine. You do what needs to be done, but your dependence is upon Allah. And then, وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Allah is sufficient for those who genuinely rely upon Him. Allah has put us in this world, it's a temporary world, with a permanent test. And all of our positive and negative circumstances, whatever the causes may be, all these circumstances are part of that test. The test is about the performance, regardless of what circumstance we find ourselves in, positive or negative. Whatever circumstances we encounter, it is how we respond, how we use our efforts in achieving the higher objectives of our existence, whether we're going through shukr or periods of sabr, gratitude, or we're going through patient perseverance. And our success depends on the quality of the good that we do in this world, despite what we encounter, based on the wisdom, the propriety, and the sincerity that we incorporate in our thoughts, in our words, and in our deeds. This tawakkul or tawakkul ala Allah, reliance on Allah, does not imply not doing anything. It is neither stagnation nor is it resignation. Rather, it is a motivation to practical wisdom, practical action with affirmative hope. You do what needs to be done, but with hope in Allah, that whatever may happen, it happens for the best, and you will deal with whatever happens, and whatever happens may be the best for you, it may be part of the test. And therefore, an incident documented by Imam al-Tirmidhi, a Prophet ﷺ entered into the masjid and someone came in with him, and he came with the camel outside, and he left the camel, and the Rasul asked him, "Didn't you tie your camel?" He said, "Tawakkal ala Allah." He said, "No. Aqilha wa tawakkal." First tie your camel, then depend upon Allah. You do your bit. It's not just, oh, someone will take care of it. Allah is not a camel herder. You do your part, and that is then the reliance that comes after that. Now, those who do not engage in tawakkul, the dependence or reliance on Allah, they are the ones who are referred to in this parable. They are like those, like the spider taking its web as its home. In analyzing the parable of the spider, just by way of introduction, a remarkable point to note, just the wonder of the Quran. There are 3 surahs in the Quran that makes reference to insects. Surah Al-Nahl, Surah Al-Naml, and Surah Al-Ankabut. Al-Nahl and Al-Naml, the surah and the reference in there are to plural, because these insects live in communities. You know, bees are in communities, in groups. Ants are in communities, they are in groups. In fact, ants are the most structured of all creatures. Ankabut, Allah refers to in the surah in the feminine and the singular, because the web is made by the female and maintained by the female. So unique in how Allah uses even the name feminine, singular, and for the other, masculine or just a plural. Now let us reflect on the spider's web, which the spider takes as its home. A spider's web is made from silk, as we know, and spiders are in fact the only animals that practically use a silk, original silk, in their daily lives. We may make clothes out of it and so on and so forth, but they are the only ones. Even the silkworm produces silk, but as far as practically using it, it is the spider. The silk for the web is produced as liquid, but as it emerges from the gland of the spider, from the spinneret of the spider, it turns into solid silk fiber, which is 0.004 millimeter thick, less than 1,000th of a human hair. The tensile strength, and you need to understand, sometimes Allah makes reference to mashallah. No more than mashallah. Listen to what it is. The tensile strength of each strand of that spider's web is stronger than the same weight of steel, and it has much greater elasticity. Stronger than steel, weight by weight, pound by pound, inch by inch, measure by measure, and it has greater elasticity. Despite its fragile look, the spider's silk thread that makes the web is extremely resilient, and in fact the Nephilia spider has the strongest biological substance as natural fiber emitting from its body to make a web. It's the strongest natural substance known to man, natural fiber known to man, and therefore is referred to as biosteel. Mind-boggling and impressive indeed. But now the spider's web. The spider's web itself symbolizes and is symbolic of a seemingly safe, of a secure net. But despite the intricacies of its design, the magnificence of its functionality, how it operates, the strength of its threads, the beauty of its appearance, despite all of that, the spider's web is primarily a trap and also a home, but rather an unpleasant and a lonely home. Spiders live alone. Babies which are born fight for existence and often kill each other to survive. Male who comes to visit may be eaten after mating by normally the larger and more powerful female. So it's neither a happy home nor a safe residence. It is a lonely home for the one who resides, a treacherous venue for those who visit, a deadly abode for those who are trapped. It does not provide any shade, neither protection from cold nor from heat, or any shelter. The spider takes that as its home. The spider's web, therefore, is a great sign of Allah's creation. The structure exemplifies material strength and exquisite design. It is appealing in its beauty and deceptively attractive. Its threads are extremely strong and designed to catch prey. Despite all of that, the verse concludes, the spider takes the web as his home. وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْعَنْكَبُوتِ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. And indeed, among the weakest of homes is the home of the spider, if only you knew. So the spider's home, the web, is indeed a weak house, literally floating in the air. The mere stroke of our fingertips can easily destroy this elaborate design. So those who rely on other than Allah are like the spiders relying on the web. Is it possible also reference to the World Wide Web today? Allahu Alam. Points for our consideration. 1, we are often so bedazzled by the appealing creativity of creation. MashaAllah. We are often so bedazzled by the appealing creativity of creation that we seldom recognize the magnificence of the creator of creation. Point number 2, though the spider's web is seemingly beautiful, apparently strong, it is still a trap. Many things in the world, bedazzling, appealing, but still a trap. Things are not always as they seem, so don't be fooled. And number 3, we often see so much evil in good people. We see so much ugliness in beautiful people. There's so much apparent wrongs in good places, yet so much potential beauty in ugly places. Therefore, do not be blinded by the apparent, but rather give due attention to the deeper reality of things. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله والسلام عليكم